This is going to be my list for my most anticipated reads of 2026. I'm really only aware of authors that, for the most part, I already have read from or follow, and a lot of those are romance or mystery thrillers, but I think for the most part, romance, romantasy type things. First one, which by the time this video comes out, is going to be released. It's Ashley Elston's Anatomy of an Alibi. I loved First Lie Wins. It was one of my first books that I read 2024, and I liked it so much that I ended up getting a secondhand copy. Should I grab it? I probably should have thought of this before sitting down to film, so I'm gonna grab all the books now. I was trying to pull off a book on my shelf for every author that I have on my most anticipated reads list, and shockingly enough, I own a lot of them, which means that I have had a problem with buying books, or I just like them enough to get them. This is, I think, the only other Ashley Elston book I've read. It was so good that after a year, when I saw someone selling this, I bought it. I really like mysteries, although I grew up reading Joanne Fluke's Hannah Swanson series. I should also read the Pumpkin Chiffon Pie Murder, but it hasn't come in my library yet. Next book is Alice Feeney's My Husband's Wife. It sounded interesting, hence why I really want to read it. That one comes out January 20th. Next one is Stephanie Archer's The Wild Card, which comes out February 3rd. So far, I think I've read maybe the first and the second book in the series. I read Behind the Net. I wouldn't say it's one of my favorite reads of all time, but I really liked it. Next, being published on February 10th, Promise Me by Sarah Kate. I've read her entire Salacious Player series, The Good Girl Effect. The one before Promise Me, I don't remember what that one's called. That one was okay, but like I'll still read anything that she writes. Here's my physical trophy. I only have a couple because I was trying to be really good about it, and I'm trying again to not buy an entire series when there are only a couple that I really, really liked, especially with space constraints and books are expensive. And on February 24th, we have B.K. Borson's And Now Back to You. I initially got digital copy on Google Book, but because I owned it, I didn't feel like I needed to read it. It's always there. I'm not time gated by when I have to return it to the library. I didn't read it actually it came out February 11th, 2025, and I didn't read it until maybe 2 months later. I bought this after I read it and really loved it, so this is justified. Next, on March 3rd is Liz Tomford's In Her Own League. Need I say more? I have the entire Windy City series. I think this was my favorite one so far. I have not yet read Rewind It Back because it's kind of like the Kingdom of Ash issue where I love the series so much and I don't want to see it come to an end. So I'm putting it off. And that too, I think I have a digital version that I bought from the Kindle store. So not even Kindle Unlimited, I bought it. And then I bought a copy secondhand. I found one that matched these covers and I bought that too. On March 3rd is Cara Bastone's No Matter What. This is not the only book I've read by her, but I did really, really like Promise Me Sunshine. Of course I'm gonna want to read her next book. I find that a lot of romance books feel the same. I feel like I've read so many in such a short amount of time, 2 years, that when there's ones that feel different to me, even like they just feel a cut above the rest. This is one of them. On March 17th, we have Elle Candy's Love Song. I don't even know what the series are called. I read this one and the other two, so The Charlie Method and The Dixon Rule. I've also read the Off-Campus series and another one that I don't remember the names of. I think this one is my favorite. On March 24th, it's gonna be Abby Jimenez's The Night We Met. I already pre-ordered from an indie bookstore, but I'm nowhere near. Before I even ordered it, I remember I was messaging my friend and I was like, hey, how far are you from this city? Like, oh, I'm pretty close. Why do you ask? If I order a book here, do you think that you can pick it up for me and then I'll pick it up from you later when we see each other? He's like, yeah, sure, you'll just have to remind me. And I'm like, thank you, bro. This may be my favorite Abby Jimenez book. Yours truly. Also really like Say You'll Remember Me, and I own I think every single one except The Friend Zone. This is so good. This was like the first 5-star read that I ever had. I'm pretty sure. I'm probably wrong, but who knows. On March 31st, we have Navessa Adams' Game On. I like Lights Out. Pop Me was like, it was okay, but I'm still interested to finish the series. Like, I liked it enough to want to finish the series. On April 7th, there's a collab between Marissa Myers and Tamara Moss called The Escape Game. I don't remember what it's about. I read the synopsis, but to be honest, most of these I didn't even bother reading the synopsis. I just like the authors. The Escape Game probably is like a thriller mystery type with an escape room. This was a series that I read as a kid. I don't know if I got as far as winter. Maybe I did. But I read the entire thing over again last year and I really liked it. Am I missing something? I'm gonna put these back real quick while I'm up. Next, on April 28th, we have Anna Huang's King of Gluttony. I have not gotten that far into this because I also own all the books, so it's not a high priority read for me, considering I'm not time gated by Kindle Unlimited or anything. I think I read the first 2 and I'm working, I say working, but I've opened the 3rd book. And I read the Twisted series, the first 3, but I own all of those. I own all of these so far, and I own Striker and Defender. I probably won't get to it by the time the book comes out, but am I gonna get it? Probably. On April 28th, we have Kristen Perrin's How to Cheat Your Own Death. I read How to Solve Your Own Murder. I liked it a lot. Then I read the 2nd book. I'm really bad at remembering what titles or authors are, which is why I need lists for everything. Oh, okay. The 2nd book was How to Seal Your Own Fate. I thought that was okay. I thought How to Solve Your Own Murder was better. I felt like the 2nd one was kind of not that necessary. Just felt like it was trying to ride the coattails of the success of the first one. And I say success lightly because I do not have book talk and I don't know what Popular talked about. And I received an art. Thank you, NetGalley and Penguin Publishing House. I am very much looking forward to reading that book. Next, on May 5th, we have Stormbreaker by Nisha J. Tooley. Seems like a fantasy type book. After that, on May 12th, we have First and Forever by Lynn Painter. I am a fan. This was my favorite book to date that I've read by Lynn Painter. Interested to see what it's about. It looks like First and Forever is not a YA novel. I like both her adult and her YA stuff. It looks like a sports romance. You can never have too much. Then on June 9th, we have Harvest Season by Brynn Weaver. In December is when I read Taurus Season. I really liked it. I've read the Ruinous Love trilogy and I liked Butcher and Blackbird better than the other 2. Then on June 16th, Someday Garden by Ashley Poston. This was another 5-star read from my first year of reading. I'll read anything she writes just to chase that high again. Then on June 23rd, we have Lisa Jewell's It Could Have Been Her. I say I'm in the middle of this, but I literally just started. I have it bookmarked on the prologue. But I was recommended this, and I have read other books by her. This is the only physical copy I have, though. I love mysteries and thrillers. Sometimes they disappoint me, but I almost always enjoy reading them. I have to recount. Okay. On July 7th, it's The Final Score by Lana Ferguson. I've read, I think, all of the Lana Ferguson books that my library has. I think The Nanny was my favorite one, at least of the ones I own. I am very much a creature of habit, so when I go to restaurants, I almost always order the same thing if it's like a repeat restaurant. If it's a new restaurant to me, then I'll order what sounds the best. I am biased towards restaurants that I've been to / dishes that I love there or at other restaurants. So authors are kind of the same. If I recognize the name and I like the books, I will read whatever they put out. Then on July 14th, we have Christina Lauren, The Romance Revival. I own a lot of I wouldn't say a lot because they've written a lot. I own 4 Christina Lauren books. All of them I really love. This one, I would say this one was my favorite, The True Love Experiment. I'm not a bachelor dating show type person. I don't think I've ever watched The Bachelor. I've never watched Love Island or anything like that. This just was so cute. I like the premise. Can't say that I would enjoy the shows because a lot of it is like manufactured and scripted, whereas obviously books don't feel that way because they're fiction. I don't know. Also on July 14th is Tara DeWitt's Lost and Found. I've read 2 or 3 books by her now. This is the only one I have, Left Up Forever. There was one recently that I read that was lackluster, but 2 out of 3 ain't bad. On August 4th, we have Embrace by Val Cabra. I'm so sorry if I pronounced that wrong. I read Spiral and Collide. I like them enough to look forward to her next book. Then on September 1st, we have Rachel Gillig, The Knave and the Moon. I haven't read Two Twisted Crowns or One Dark Window, but I read this and it was so good. So I already pre-ordered The Knave and the Moon. That's how much I liked it. Then on September 10th, we have People Pleasing by Hannah Bonam-Young. I own 3 of her books. This one is my favorite so far, Next to You. People Watching was definitely not my favorite. I am anticipating People Pleasing because I do really like her books. On October 27th, we have The Keeper by Anna Huang. I don't know how she's putting out so many books in a year. She's working overtime. I have The Striker and The Defender. I have not read either because I own them. Maybe that should be my goal. Rather than reading a book I own per week, it should be reading Anna Huang book per week and get caught up before her new releases. Every time a book becomes available on Libby, I feel the need to get on it before it expires. Then the last so far anticipated read that I have for 2026 is releasing on November 10th. Fae and Alchemy by Callie Hart. I personally prefer this cover over the Kingfisher one. I think it's interesting for people who don't know what the book is called and who the author is. Callie Hart is quite big. It's like the same size as Quicksilver, which is a choice. It just looks more fantasy this way, and I just don't like people on covers. This was really good. Brimstone was alright. This one I think was better. This has been my 26th most anticipated reads of 2026. Let me know if any of them are ones that you're really looking forward to, and if there's any on your list that I didn't list on mine so that I can add them. Right? Bye!